Hi, welcome back to the Power BI for Schools beginner course. Lesson 2, extract, transform and load with Power Query. Now a lot of people breeze past Power Query. We got data straight from a data source straight into BI. So why worry about this step in between? But I'm going to show you the basics of Power Query and we'll go through a really useful example of when a problem that is fixable in BI itself is much better dealt with in Power Query. So what it is a separate program we access via transform data. And for each query, as in each data source, Power Query is like the butler that brings the data to you, and on the way it can do lots of things basically to clean up and improve the data before you start visualizing it in Power BI. So if we just pop back to Power BI, you see how school ID here has a little sigma. That means it's numeric, so we can sum it, we can take the average of it. Key Stage 2 doesn't have that sigma, so our Key Stage 2 results are coming through as text, not numbers. And that's something we want to look at in Power Query. So if we go back to, here we go. So as you can see, ABC, our Key Stage 2 results here are text. And the reason they're text is that some people have an N there. So ideally, we just want to basically ignore those essentially null results and treat Key Stage 2 as a number. So what we can do is highlight the column, click Replace Values, and find our N's and just replace them with nothing. And then once we've done that, we can right click on Key Stage 2, change the type, and change it to a decimal number. So it's this kind of data tidying that's really best done in Power Query. Another thing just to highlight, as well as changing the type, which is probably the main thing you'll do initially, you can remove rows which contain errors or which are blank, which can often happen when you get web data sources. And you can also add columns, so adding a custom column. So, particular value, if you've got identical sheets coming from different schools, you could add a key with this, or add a conditional column, which would be like adding a sort of nested if then else formula. And again, a basic rule about data, although you can add columns in BI as well, is the further back in the process you can do that. So if you can get them from the data source, that's best. Next best is Power Query, and calculated columns in BI are the worst option. Okay, so now if we go to close and apply, it will reload our data. Just applying those changes, and now you can see that Key Stage 2 has a sigma, so that's now coming through as a number, and we can do numerical aggregations on it.